From the Nolan movies I've seen, he's always had extremely weak and disjointed storytelling topped by a facade of intellectual superiority. Like, don't get me started on Inception. My god, this movie had no business being 2.5 hours long when 70% of it is just Cobb expositing dream stuff and his life story to Ariadne, and the other 30% is just random action scenes forcefully inserted to draw out the conflict. The action in this movie is literally so mundane. Like, dude, you didn't need to make this an action movie if you're not good at writing action. The concept itself is interesting, being able to go into people's dreams, but the execution is severely lacking. The pacing up until they get into the first dream of their target is so slow and full of poorly written exposition. Then the dream levels themselves are pretty mediocre except for the Mr. Charles thing. While the dream storyline they created for Cillian Murphy's character isn't bad, it doesn't have any emotional impact on the audience because the stakes aren't even there. I mean, he dreams of a better relationship with his father, but it's not real. And yes, success means Leo can see his kids again, but the actual meat of the plot has no stakes in and of itself, especially not for the other guys on the team who all have no personalities, by the way. You don't need to flesh out all your characters, especially in a movie like this, but at least give them personalities, separate personalities from each other, not just having Tom Hardy and Joseph Gordon-Levitt randomly be snarky towards each other to force some semblance of a historied team. Everything about this movie feels so forced. A story should flow, not feel like obstacles were shoved in to pad the runtime. Like, can we talk about how the movie would have ended 40 minutes earlier if Ariadne hadn't told Cobb about the quicker pathway? All she had to do was go off to the side and tell the others separately, but in order to create more fake conflict, Cobb was like, there's no other way, just tell me what it is. And when she does, he says, go tell them. Bitch, then why did you even need to know about it? You should have told her to go tell them in the first place without telling you. And of course, this is also that Cobb can finally deal with his Mal problem, and the only shred of a thematic arc is this whole dream versus reality thing, which is overall developed in a fairly shallow manner. They show stuff like Mal ruining everything and Cobb trying to keep Mal locked away and for some reason selfishly not telling the others, but then they explain everything you just saw multiple times. Him telling Ariadne about how Mal died was so lacking in tension. Like, really? This is how we find out? And him dealing with her in limbo was also really lame. Like, where was the development of this arc? When did you learn you need to let her go? What caused this sudden shift in mindset? Despite all the other times she screwed him over, seeing her ruin his plan this time was what tipped him over. Nolan stans will insist you didn't understand the film if you didn't like it. But dude, we understand it just fine. I mean, how can we not, with everything literally being spelled out for us in lieu of genuine, complex, and intellectual storytelling? In fact, he wanted to be this faux intellectual so bad, he gave the audience an open ending that not only doesn't work in terms of the plot he set up, but it also negates the theme entirely. First of all, for Cobb and Saito to wake up in the plane, that has to be the real world because it wasn't in any of the dream levels and he's already in limbo. So the only place they can wake up would be in that snowy place and then continue to kill themselves until they cross through all the levels since they missed the kicks. As for the thematic arc, Nolan says the ending shows that for Cobb, it doesn't matter if he's in reality or a dream as long as he gets to see the kids. But the entire point of the theme he just spent the entire movie going through was that it does matter and that dreams are not the real thing and that his kids in the real world are everything. When Mal says, let's kill ourselves and get back to our kids, he told her, no, these are our real kids and we can't leave them. And you did all this for your real kids. So of course it matters that you're in reality because if you're still in the dream, then you failed and you never made it back to them. That's why he would spin the top in the first place. But because of this open ending and all the fans out there desperate to feel like intellectuals, the ending caused discourse that lasted years, which in turn only made the film more popular. Clearly, he's carved out this brand of science-based movies, which is ripe for thematic and character potential, but his stories have no intent or purpose. Like the way people rave about him, you'd think he made Minority Report.